Hello, guys. I am Dr. Pippin, and welcome to episode 3 of season 2 of WrestleSpeak podcast. Oh boy, and boy, oh boy, what a pay-per-view we had last night. Oh man, NXT was wilding out. You know what I'm saying? Whew. But before we get started, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video or go live. Also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media y'all got. Alright, anyway, let's get to it. Let's not waste any time. We're going to start by reviewing NXT TakeOver in Your House 2021. Alright, on Sunday night, the men and women of the NXT roster took to the ring for this year's TakeOver in Your House event. After weeks of back and forth insults, Cameron Grimes and LA Knight fought to see which one was the true high lord of NXT in the ladder match. Excuse me, I can't even speak today. For the $1 Million Championship, the women's division had 2 matches on the card. Sia Lee took on Mercedes Martinez, and Raquel Gonzalez took on Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Championship. 2 titles were on the line with one match when Bronson Reed teamed up with MSK to defend the North American and NXT tag titles against the God of the Top. Not going to winner takes all about. Lastly, the night was headlined by a 5-man match for the NXT Championship. Karrion Kross with the title for grabs against Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, and Johnny Gargano. Now, let's take a look at each match from last night's show. Let's do it. We start with MSK and Bronson Reed versus Legado del Fantasma, where it takes off for both titles. First match of the night featured Reed teaming up with Nash Carter and Wesley of MSK to battle Raul Mendoza, Joaquin Wild, and Santos Escobar of Legado del Fantasma. Mendoza at least started for their teams with an exchange of quick takedown attempts, but Carter and Wilder tagged in and did their own routine. Neither team had a clear advantage until the big boy came in. After Escobar found out how heavy Reed was the hard way, he tagged in an unenthusiastic Wild. The North American champion almost pinned him with a big slam before he and MSK hit a triple T move for another 2 count. Everyone took turns hitting dives out of the ring until Reed took out everyone with a gigantic suicide dive. Once they got back in the ring, Legado del Fantasma controlled the pace for a long time by keeping Lee isolated in the corner with quick tags. Reed ended up putting Escobar through the barricade to take him out of the match. This allowed him and MSK to take out Wild and Mendoza for the pin and the win. And the grade level for it is a B. My opinion, it was a pretty good match. There was some back and forth. A little too much stalling for time, but it all worked out in the end. So congratulations to Joaquin Wild, and oh my gosh, what is wrong with me today? Congratulations to MSK and Bronson Reed. Next, we have Mercedes Martinez versus Sia Lee. The second battle of the evening saw Lee take on Martinez in a grudge match. These two have had issues for weeks and earned an only non-title spot on the card. They locked up and fell out of the ring fighting for control. Martinez had the upper hand until Lee used an illegal hold to wear her down for the 5 count. Lee dominated Martinez until she avoided a kick at ringside and Lee hit the ring post. She almost failed to make it back into the ring by the count of 10. For that move forward, Martinez was in the driver's seat. After a short scuffle at ringside, Lee nailed Martinez with a kick out of nowhere for the win. Boa handed Lee a chair after the match was over, but she hesitated long enough for Martinez to recover and take it from her. She proceeded to take out both members of Tia Shaw with a chair. The match leader stood up from her chair on the stage and approached Martinez. They had a long stare down before Mei Ying grabbed her by the throat. She threw Martinez off the platform to accept the second. Grade is a B-. It was entertaining. Lee was a monster in the ring and defeated Martinez means something. But it didn't feel like a takeover match. It felt like a hot TV match. But the pretty short one time hurt it a bit. It's still a good match though. Then we got Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight in the ladder match for the $1 Million Championship. Ted DiBiase came out with 2 guards to hang the $1 Million Championship above the ring for this battle of the High Rollers. Knight used his size advantage to push Grimes around a bit at the start of the match. Grimes found a way to get the upper hand before Knight tried to move the first ladder into the ring. Grimes narrowly avoided getting crushed by a ladder a couple times. They tried to use it as a weapon a few times unsuccessfully before it finally became a factor. Grimes sent Knight into a ladder with a beautiful release German suplex. Knight got his revenge with a neckbreaker on the side of the ladder. They continued to trade back and forth as they progressed to bigger spots. Grimes ended up bringing the biggest ladder in the ring. It was appropriately painted gold for the occasion. Both men climbed opposite sides and began to brawl at the top. Knight fell first but knocked the ladder over to prevent Grimes from securing the belt. Grimes climbed part of the set and took out his opponent with a huge dive. Knight tipped over the ladder and sent Grimes crashing into another. He climbed up and retrieved the belt to win the match. The grade level is a A-. Now, this match felt like it belonged on TakeOver. Sorry. Excuse me. Great effort for both LA Knight and Cameron Grimes. Grimes took some big ladder bumps and really made this work. While Knight did have some fans cheering for him, it seems like the majority of the fans have decided that Grimes is a babyface. And NXT Creative appears to be right there with it. Next, we have Juan Gonzalez versus Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Championship. Dakota Kai accompanied Gonzalez to the ring for the title defense, but Moon did not have Shotzi Blackheart at ringside for support. It immediately put her at a disadvantage. Moon hit a dropkick as soon as the referee called for the bell. She was aggressive. She kept Gonzalez reeling with quick strikes. Gonzalez stopped her in her tracks by refusing to go down from a crossbody. But she sent Moon flying into the barricade from the apron with a shoulder tackle. The powerhouse yanked Moon off the mat into a sidewalk stand with one arm in an impressive show of power. After a few minutes, Moon began to build some momentum with a series of strikes and the code ran for a close 2 count. The former champion wrapped the current champion in a submission, but Gonzalez did it to the bottom rope with Kai's help. Moon retaliated by taking Gonzalez out with a missile-like suicide dive. Gonzalez tried several plays, but Moon refused to stay down for the count. She hit Gonzalez with the Eclipse, but when she went for the pin, Kai put her friend's foot on the rope to break the count. This brought Blackheart out to chase her to the back. Excuse me. Whew. Moon hit a tornado DDT on the elevated platform next to the ring for a near fall. Moments later, Gonzalez hit a powerbomb to retain the title. The grade level is an A. Miguel Gonzalez vs. Ember Moon was a well-worked match. I really enjoyed the match, and Gonzalez keeping the title is the right move. Even though I had a feeling that Gonzalez would win, Moon felt like someone who could have pulled an upset and win the title. It was also nice to see Shotzi Blackheart return. She recently indicated on social media that she was sidelined due to an injury. All right. Oh, and here's Brandon Martin. Hey, David. Hey, Brandon Martin. He replied to my comment on the Renegades. All right. All right. Thanks, Dragon, for replying. All right. Now, here we go. Next is the last match of the night: Karrion Kross versus Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Johnny Gargano versus Pete Dunne for the NXT Championship. As expected, the fatal 5-way match for the NXT Championship closed the show. As Gargano made his way to the ring, Blackheart and Kai could be seen still fighting backstage. It should come as no surprise that this bout started with a quick pace and never slowed down for a second. All 5 of these superstars are known for their athleticism and intensity. Their styles are different, but they can all work at breakneck speeds. At one point, Gargano and Dunne shoved Kross through the front door on the stage set. This took him out of the match for a few minutes. The other 4 men went back in the ring and began pairing up with different sequences. When Kross returned to the ring, he dismantled the other competitors with a series of power moves. A fast-paced sequence with Dunne, O'Reilly, Cole, and Gargano sucking them up so Kross could come in and beat everyone by himself. The challengers briefly worked together to take him down, but their line was over as quickly as it started. Everyone came close to getting the victory several times before Kross choked out O'Reilly with a cross-checker submission to retain the title. And the grade level is an A. The failed 5-way match was a strong main event with the expected outcome of Karrion Kross going over. This was all action and fun from the get-go. They found a way to give everyone involved their own moment. Curious now to see who Kross faces next. I'm not sure how many of these guys are going to be sticking around in NXT once WWE goes on the road again, but at least one of them, maybe more, will probably get called up to the main roster. Oh my. So NXT Over Your House, it's a 10 out of 10. Best show. Woo. Hold on a minute, guys. Stand by. right. Sorry about that. Making sure everything's okay. All right, now we will go over last week's episode of Monday Night Raw. All right, let's do it. All right. All right, here's the Raw results from last week. The Viking Raiders won the over-the-top rope battle royal. Chaos ruled from the start as AJ Styles almost caught up with potential challenges and even decided a late entry from John Morrison. Riddle and Randy Orton got the action started with a flurry of RKOs and the straight from Mason T-Bar controlled stretches of the match. As the dust began to settle between the New Day and RK Bro, the Viking Raiders sprang into action and overpowered the Viper to lock up the cup of the title. Well, my thoughts on it, it's good to see the Viking Raiders get back on track. I want to see them win the tag team titles and make sure they stay champions. All right. Jackson Ryker defeated Elias via countout. Elias once again reiterated that he's completely done dealing with his former tag team partner, and the new look Jackson Ryker responded with official responding to return to favor. Ryker carried over the aggression into the ring and asked the assault with Elias to charge her before he headed up to the ring, setting up the countout finish. Yeah, that was a bad way to. It kind of felt boring to me. Nothing else to say about this match. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre raised stakes for their clash at Hell in a Cell. But for contract signing set to take place, Bobby Lashley left Drew McIntyre ready in the ring for the Almighty Champion, with the opposing title holder finally emerged fashionably late. Lashley and MVP raised the stakes to ring the Scottish Warriors know that this would be his final opportunity at the champion's title. McIntyre eagerly accepted the counter with the proposal to the inside Hell in a Cell without the possibility of interference. The Scottish Warrior put the exclamation point on Sane by crashing his sword thunderously through a table. Oh my, this is really intense. My thoughts on it, that's very intense. Oh my. Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo ends a double countout. An irritated and bruised United States champion sat ringside as he watched as the showdown between Ricochet and Humberto Carrillo decided his next challenger. Both competitors, the High Flyers, were both grounded by a jaw-dropping Spanish fly from Ricochet that resulted in a double countout of both competitors who decided to cackle from Sheamus. I mean, that was a pretty good match. I'm sad that it ended that way. I hope we see that triple threat match at Hell in a Cell. Can't wait for that. Then we got Jeff Hardy defeated Cedric Alexander. New school swagger beat old school Saturday in a matchup between Cedric Alexander and Jeff Hardy. Alexander showed off flashy moves and unbridled brutality with a charismatic Mick stirred up humble pie with his signature swanton bomb. Big time stick. Yeah, it may be short, but it did pretty good. I'll give him that. Alright. Nikki Cross and Asuka defeated Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. The ongoing game of cat and mouse with Nikki Cross prompted a strange alliance between WWE Hell in a Cell opponents Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Asuka brought her own scores to settle, and the Queen and the Nightmare were often more preoccupied with proving the point to each other. One small spark in the partnership between Ripley and Flair combusted as the Queen landed a natural selection among the friendly Cross slid in for the pin to usher in the celebration with the Empress of Tomorrow. Wow, seeing Nikki Cross being Rhea Ripley twice was shocking. I didn't expect that to happen. Alright, Mansoor defeated Drew Gulak. Mustafa Ali offered words of advice to Mansoor as he waited a new challenge in his upstart Red brand. Drew Gulak offered a critical challenge to the newcomer, but an underhanded roll-up was met with a quick reversal from Mansoor who scored his first Raw victory. Hold on, guys. My thoughts. Well, He did good. Don't get me wrong. He did an amazing job. I want to see him become, Intercontinental Champion when he'll be drafted to SmackDown in the near future. I would love to see that happen. I really would. All right. Next, Kofi Kingston defeated Riddle. The ongoing rivalry between the New Day and Arcade Bro hit new heights as the two teams brought the tag team battle royal earlier tonight. Kofi Kingston was to prove a personal point by challenge Riddle, and the original Bro was spurred on by the presence of his good friend Randy at ringside. In the waning moments, it appeared Riddle was in control as he coasted off to finish off his opponent. After the original Bro looked at the channel the legend killer. Kingston dodged an RKO and unleashed a Trouble in Paradise to claim the win. I mean, that was a pretty good match. I would expect Riddle to use his own moves. I love Randy. I love Riddle, but at least, you know what? I like to see these two work together more. I want to see that more happen. Hold on, everyone. Stand by again. I'm so sorry. There you go. Okay. All right. Then, all right. Sorry, guys. I had to do something. Okay, here we go. Shayna Baszler makes a shocking trip to Alexa's playground. Despite a warning from Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler had no reservations walking into the twisted world of Alexa's playground. The Queen of Spades was unapologetic, and her visit to disturb Alexa Bliss with destructive actions and fierce stomp to the face of her dog Lily. As Baszler walked up to the ramp, fire surrounded her, and Lily's special was impossible to shake no matter where she turned on the stage. That one, to me, that was creepy. That's my opinion. That was creepy as hell, and I can't lie on it. Ooh, man. Now we're gonna preview. Now, let's preview last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. All right. All right, so here are the results from last week's SmackDown. Jimmy Uso opened SmackDown with a stirred matches for the head of the table after he opposed as well at last week's SmackDown Tag Team title match. Yeah, the first one, the referee messed it up, but the second one, Roman interfered. I mean, the Usos had it won. If Roman had interfered, that to me felt like bullcrap. The Usos deserved their rematch for the titles at Hell in a Cell. All right, Kevin Owens and Big E defeated Sami Zayn and Apollo Crews. Kevin Owens came ready to fight right from the opening bell as KO targeted both Apollo Crews and Sami Zayn early after last week's attack. The chaotic Intercontinental Championship picture was on full display as a Big E clothesline of Crews over the ropes, set up Owens for a stunner on Zayn to secure the win. After the match, Crews lays down a challenge for the victors to be back in the ring next week, but this time with Commander Aziz in his corner. Oh my. That's going to get very interesting. This will be Commander Aziz's first time in a wrestling ring. Oh my. We'll see how it works. All right. Next, we got Liv Morgan defeated Carmella. Liv Morgan was out for payback after last week's defeat, but Carmella was ready early as she flew off her opponent's charge right into the announce table, which the self-proclaimed most beautiful woman in WWE let her guard down. Morgan sprang into action, landing Oblivion to score a huge victory. Even though it was quick, I was happy to see Morgan win this week. Now, since they're one-on-one against each other, we'll probably get a tiebreaker match next week. Cesaro and Bianca Belair interrupted Ding Dong Hello. Seth Rollins joined Bayley on Ding Dong Hello as the duo had a good laugh at the expense of their rivals. The fun ended quickly as Cesaro rang the doorbell and ripped Rollins' drip while destroying the set. It was a fun segment and an entertaining way for Cesaro to make his return. Then, Montez Ford defeated Chad Gable by disqualification. After canceling the tag team showdown earlier in the night, Chad Gable went for a matchup with Montez Ford before Dawkins and Otis agreed to stay away from ringside. Gable appeared to have the answer for every time Ford attempted to get his offense going. Dustin then turned away from the ring as Owens demolished Angelo Dawkins backstage and then leveled an unhinged attack on Ford that left the high flyer grounded in pain. It was a good match. It was nice to see two tag team wrestlers compete against each other in a singles match for a change. The ending with Otis was predictable after Otis was shown attacking Angel Darkness backstage, but it is setting up for a fun tag team match. Shinsuke Nakamura defeated King Corbin. Rick Bruce played sweet music to get Shinsuke Nakamura at Riddle, but King Corbin was motivated by anger and the hunt to retrieve his rightful crown. The King of Strong Style continued to befuddle his rival with a quick roll-up win, as he and Bruce rocked out with the crown in the center of the ring after the account. It was the same match we've seen before. Corbin continues to fight for his crown, which represents the gimmick that's been holding him back for far too long. Really hope Nakamura wins next week so Corbin can go back to his own wolfing. King Nakamura also has a good ring of it too. Alright. Roman Reigns brawled with Rey and Dominic Mysterio. After last week's vicious attack on his son, Rey Mysterio emerged with a message for Roman Reigns and laying down jabs to be an inside hell himself. Before the Universal Champion could finish his response, man broke out as the ultimate underdog and Dominic Mysterio up the ante with kendo sticks. It was a brief yet very entertaining segment to close the show. I love Rey Mysterio, but watching Roman Reigns actually destroy him inside hell himself will be fun. I hope it doesn't become some type of handicap match with Dominic Mysterio added later on. Rey isn't a threat to win the Universal Championship, but there's a story to tell with him fighting for his son. So overall, it's an 8 out of 10. All right, now it's time for the nitty gritty. It is time to preview tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Oh boy. All right. Here we go. Here is the preview for tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. All right, Drew McIntyre is set to go one-on-one with AJ Styles, the Scottish Warrior versus the Phenomenal One. Let's go. Drew McIntyre knows full well that he could run out of WWE Championship opportunities if he fails to beat Bobby Lashley at Hell in a Cell, but that won't stop him from getting his tune up this Monday when he goes one-on-one with Raw Tag Team Champion AJ Styles. From the almighty WWE Champion and MVP to Styles' colossal co-champion Omos, there promises to be plenty of interested onlookers for this battle of former WWE champions. The New Day and RK Bro aim to finally settle the score. It's time to settle this, bro. After weeks of battling back and forth in singles competition, the New Day are set to finally square off against RK Bro in a huge tag team match on Raw. Tensions clearly boiled over last week during the high-stakes battle royal, which led to both teams being eliminated and Kofi Kingston's victory over Riddle later in the night, only further escalating matters. Which duo will come away with the win? Then, Eva Marie to return to action tonight against Naomi. The wait is over. Eva Marie will make her highly anticipated in-ring return tonight against Naomi. How will Eva fare against the glow of the two-time SmackDown Women's Champion? Is WWE ready for Evolution? Find out tonight, 8/7 Central on Monday Night Raw, only on the USA Network. Now, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted from doing this. Well, I'm going to mosey on out of here. This has been episode 3 of season 2 of WrestleSpeak podcast. I want to thank David. Thank David 3000 and Brandon Martin for joining in the live chat. And if y'all like this video, please give it a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon to get notified every time I upload a new video or do a live stream. Also, go follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that. Well, with that being said, this is Donnie Pittman saying see you guys next time for episode 4 of WrestleSpeak Podcast. Till then, this is Donnie Pittman signing off.